welcome to another video. Today you guys, we're back in my sketchbook and I drew these drawings of Kira. I decided I'm going to color them with alcohol markers just for funsies. I bought some Ohuhu markers. I've been wanting to try Ohuhus for a very long time, and for a long time I was like, I can't really justify buying any Ohuhus because I have so many colored markers. But I had made like a New Year's resolution. You guys know this. I'm not going to buy any new art supplies for the year of 2025 because I have too many. And so I was like, well, if I'm not buying any new art supplies in the new year, I guess I should buy all the art supplies I wanted to buy and could never justify buying, and then just be like, that's it, I'm not buying anymore. So I bought a bunch of alcohol markers, even though I don't need them, you guys. So we're going to be using them today. I didn't really test these out. I mean, I did swatches of them, but I haven't really tested out these color combinations I plan on doing, so really just winging it today. We're just going to go for it. If these come out bad, it's okay. I don't really like them anyway. So we're just going to go ahead and jump in. Like I said, I didn't really test out these color combinations, and I'm not entirely sure which one I was supposed to put down first. So I'm going to probably have to flip back and forth with my swatch card or my swatch page. I'm just going to be using like combinations of 3 markers for these. I have more Ohuhus than this actually, but I was like, these are the ones that are like the most passable combinations. So I'm just gonna pick one. I'm not really a big fan of these first color combinations I'm gonna use, so I'm probably gonna pick this one because I like this one the least. So if it turns out really bad, and I'm just gonna color over the whole thing. You guys already know I don't really have strong opinions on alcohol markers too much. I mostly just have opinions on nibs, and so when it comes to the brush nib on the Ohuhus, I don't think I like them very much. I think they're a bit too stiff. I think they're just a bit too stiff for my liking. I'm just like not into them, which makes me feel bad because I'm like, well, I bought like a bunch of them, so you better make yourself like them. That's also partially my problem. Is like I always want to like try markers and like new stuff, but it's like I always like buy a bunch. It's like you can just get one, like just get one. If you don't like it, then you're like, oh well, I only have to use up one marker. I have like 26 of these that I'm gonna have to use up now. I mean, the colors are nice. Like, I don't mind the colors. I think some of the brushes are different though, because when I was testing them for swatches, I was like, not all these brushes feel the same, which is weird. But you know what I do have to say, where I'm like, I received them and I was like, this is awful. They all came individually wrapped in like their own little thing of plastic. And I was like, oh my god, I wish I had not bought these individually. Because that is like, oh my god, that's so much plastic. I felt really bad, like, throwing that away. I was like, Jesus Christ, I should just bought, like, a pack. But I wanted to pick the colors that I wanted to get. And none of like, the packs of Ohuhus spoke to me. I feel really bad, because I was like, that was so terrible. Usually when I buy, like, Copics individually, they just send them as is. They're like, we'll just put all of them in a bag, and then ship that to you in a box. I never had markers delivered to me individually wrapped before. I didn't like that, especially because I bought so many. For that aspect, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But this is also like the first time I'm actually like using them to like do something with. Before I just made a couple swatches, and so I don't really know how they blend together yet. But we're about to find out, I guess. But also, I'm not going to judge them too harshly on this paper because this paper does not blend for shit. But that's okay because you guys, I'm actually technically finished with this sketchbook. I know I'm doing this right now, but all the pages are filled up with other drawings. And so after this sketchbook is done, and I am planning to have a sketchbook tour of it soon. I don't know if it'll be this week or next week, but yeah, the sketchbook is finished. Thankfully, because I was getting so sick of working in it, you guys don't understand. Although, technically, to be fair, I've only been working this sketchbook for 4 months. I started it in October of 2024, and it's only January. It's only been 4 months. It would have been, like, a complete 4 months. Or, like, yeah, a complete 4 months in February 9th or something like that. And I was just like, I need to finish the sketchbook. I'm sick of working in it. You guys know how I get at the end of sketchbooks. I'm like, oh, I'm done with this. This is the wrong color. Like, I don't want to work at this anymore. Let's call it done. And so I was getting to that point. I was like, let's just try to finish it. And so I finished it like a couple days ago. I do have a new sketchbook. And technically, I have sketched in it. Just the front page, though. I mean, you guys will see that first page. That's going to be a video, you know. Those videos is like, starting my new sketchbook. You guys are gonna see that. It's not gonna be anything spectacular. I don't really like super in-depth pages to the beginning of my sketchbook. Not that I don't like when other people do that. I don't like it for me because I'm like, that's too much pressure. I can't make something pretty. And also I don't really like doing that thing where some artists will start a sketchbook on like the second or third page and then go back and make their first page really pretty. My brain is like, you started on the first page. You need to start it on the first page. And I'm like, okay. And if I don't start on the first page, it bothers me. Alrighty, I guess I'll just color horizon too. You can't really see it, but there we go. There's that one. That one's actually not that bad. I still don't 100% love it, but the color, I feel like maybe the color improved it. Just a little bit. Now we're going to do a yellow one. And I guess we'll make the happy face the yellow one. Yeah. Yes. Well, yes. Because I guess we'll make the blushy face the red one. Although I feel like the red one is not going to come out well because there's not a lot of variation in tone there. But that's okay. We'll do our best. And also yellow is a happy color, so we'll use yellow. I don't like how much this yellow looks like piss. But that's fine. Oh, and just so you guys know, I outlined these, well, I just sketched them. I didn't really outline them because there was no under sketch. I just drew these freehand with my normal high-tech C's. And most high-tech C's are dry, you guys. They're typically alcohol, marker proof. I say typically because sometimes I don't wait for them to dry and then they smear. But as long as you wait for them to dry, they do really well with alcohol markers. This one's going to be very yellow. I'm not sure if I'm going to like this is coming out. Maybe this one's a bit more of like a skin tone because this is a little bit off with the other yellows. I'm not sure. It's okay, I'm gonna blend it out, but it looks a little, maybe it's just desaturated in comparison to the other yellows. I'm not sure. That's kind of what it feels like. I like this color though, but I've always sort of kind of liked more. I like a golden yellow, more orangey yellow. I just like orange, I think. Yellow's never been one of my favorite colors. I don't mind it, but I don't prefer it usually. Kind of makes her look like a lion. I guess in a good way. I don't know if it's a good way or a bad way, but it's giving lion for some reason. We'll put it in eyebrows too. Okay, there's that one. I guess I should do the inside of her mouth too. I wish that was darker, but I don't have a darker yellow on hand. Let's do this little blushy face next. The blushy face probably is my favorite one, but also I still really like that smiling one. I mean, I'm not, like I said, I'm not really a big fan of yellow, but it made the most sense, you guys. Yellow was a happy color. I know for a fact I'm going to struggle with blending this one out because I don't have a mid-tone for this. I think it's just this light tone, and then the other ones are like really dark. Do you guys like monochrome pieces like this, which is just like one color with like different shades of that color? I actually really like when artists do this sort of thing. I usually prefer it with colored line art, but when I was sketching these, I was going to do them in full color, which is why I was sketching in black. And then I was like, I don't like these enough to color them all the way in. So I was like, well, we'll just use some monochrome stuff. Just because doing like full color takes just a little bit longer than these monochrome type pieces. I mean, if I do a monochrome like this, it takes like maybe like 3 to 5 minutes each. And then if I was gonna like fully color it, I have to get color for her skin, and I have to get colors for her hair, her eyes, and then that takes forever. And I'm like, well, I don't like them enough to do all that, so. But I like them enough to do these little monochrome ones. I hope this is the lightest color. I don't actually know, I didn't check. No, sorry, not the lightest, the darkest one. I've been using the darkest one first too. Add the shadows in first. Whoops, nope, I got it backwards. Oh gosh, that's gonna look weird. It's okay, sure. We'll just switch it real quick, and we'll try not to cry. Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna work for me. Yeah, she's gonna look like a clown. I knew this was gonna happen, so it doesn't hurt my feelings. I mean, it does. It hurts my feelings a little, but that's okay. You guys are probably like, well, if you knew it was gonna happen, why did you do it? I don't know. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. I know it's gonna happen, but I'm so dumb. I'm like, well, maybe it won't. You know what? It's funny. It's like I'm smart enough to recognize the patterns, but not smart enough to not do the same thing over and over again. Oh, God. That's okay. It's an artistic choice. I chose to do this because it looks better. Okay. I feel like it gives off the vibe of that blushiness. I mean, I feel like the ink really blended out really well here, which is weird. I guess because the markers is really super filled, but the blend on the face is a little like feathered out a little bit in a way that I don't hate. There's parts of it that I do hate, but also it's got like a vibe that I like about it. So it's not the worst thing ever. It didn't ruin the sketch. Okay, it's not that bad. Honestly, now that I'm looking at it, it might be my favorite of the three, which is weird to say, but it might just be the colors that I like. But I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna move on to a blue one next. I'm trying to think of which one I want to be blue. I guess we'll do this one, blue. These smell really weird, you guys. I mean, all alcohol markers smell strange, but these have like a, it's weird to say, but they smell kind of sweet. My Copic markers do not smell very sweet. I mean, they still smell like alcohol. Don't get me wrong, all alcohol markers are gonna smell like alcohol. But they have it's a weird sweet smell for some reason. Oh, by the way, if you guys have never used alcohol markers and you're like sensitive to smells, I would not recommend them. If you're supposed to use them in like a well ventilated area, which I am. I'm in my room. So I'm not gonna like die or lose brain cells. Probably not any more than I usually do. But that's also why they're not supposed to. You're not supposed to give them to like children. They're not for kids. It's the same way you wouldn't give like a Sharpie to a small child. It's the same thing. Sharpies are also alcohol based markers. So use them in a well ventilated area, you guys. I like these blues. I mean, I kind of have these sorts of blue greens, but I don't think I have this robin's egg blue. I think it's actually one of the few blues that I don't have for my Copics. I think Copic does also have a robin's egg blue, but I don't think it's in my collection. Even though it is pretty big. I don't have all the markers, obviously, because sometimes I'm like, should I just collect them all just to collect them all? And I'm like, no. I wouldn't even use all the colors, because some of them are like, like fluorescence. Like, when am I ever gonna use fluorescence? I'm not a fluorescence kind of artist. I could try, but I think if I wanted to try fluorescence, I would just try highlighters first instead of just buying fluorescent Copic markers. I'm not actually sure how fluorescent they are. They could be pretty fluorescent, I guess. I've never seen anybody use them. Okay, there's that one. I like that one. That one came out pretty cute. I'm still really vibing with this one for some reason, even though I think it doesn't. I don't know, something about it. Just I like it. Something about it just is calling to me. All right, the last one we have to do is purple. So this is our purple one, you guys. I'm not great with purples, and I also think these are actually pretty dark. Oh no, it's actually really light. Never mind. I don't know why I thought this was dark. I think this purple is actually pretty desaturated though. I feel like I have Copics that look like this. I don't know what it is about alcohol markers, but I feel like they really struggle with very vibrant purples that are on the blue side. As I feel like I have some very vibrant purples that are on the redder side of purple, like some magentas. But whenever it comes to like a bluer sort of purple, I feel like it's really hard to get them to look saturated and not like super desaturated. I'm not sure why that is. Something is hard about like the blue spectrum of purple for markers or for dye, because alcohol markers are dye based. I don't know if it's hard to get that sort of purpley blue sort of color with dyes. Well, that's not flat at all. That's fine. I think I got too loosey-goosey with this one because it was the last one colored all the way outside of the lines on like so many aspects of this. This is drying out a little bit darker. This is lighter than I thought it was going to be. These purples are lighter than I thought. They looked super dark in my swatches. Oh, but I guess I did go over the swatches a couple of times, so that's probably why. Oh gosh. I hope when I blend this out it's not going to lighten it like a bunch. And get that weird film. I don't like that weird film. Okay. Okay, no, it doesn't look like it is. I think this is probably darker than the last one I used. Oh yeah, it definitely is. That's fine. Is it darker, or is it just a different pigmentation? I don't know. Well, let's use this one as the dark for this part and blend it out with the other one and see if that works. Just for this one hair strand. Does that work better? I think there's a definite difference. I guess we'll just do that with the whole thing. Okay guys, there's that one. I kind of don't like it, but I don't know if it's because I don't like purple or if I don't like the way I colored it. So yeah, there's that. Alright you guys, that is the end of these marker drawings. Overall, I think this one is still my favorite, even though I still think it looks weird. And it's funny because I don't really even normally like red. Usually I like green, but I didn't use any green on here. I didn't have enough greens. I think I decided not to buy greens because I had bought different alcohol markers that I used with greens instead. Well, I think these are okay. I still don't really like the way this drawing came out, but I like the way the colors look on here, so I might have to use this color combination again. But yeah, that's the end of the video, guys. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I will go ahead and see you in the next one. Bye!